I've now taken out all the code for this resume, and if we go over here, this current resume that you see here, this has now been changed to look like this, which is, man, not useful at all. So our goal is to transition this into this so that we can gain a good understanding of the HTML needed to just simply bring it to this point, and then we are going to progress it from this point into a more tabular layout so that we can have things like a photo of who we are, maybe other pieces, and it'll be useful to the person reading through your resume or through your bio. So let's quickly hop over here our to our actual final or our actual text. And we're going to, and I'm just gonna, because I have two versions of it, you'll notice that I've got this here's really large, whereas here everything's the exact same size. Okay, so how do we do that? If you remember from our last exercise, what I did is I just made everything a paragraph. So I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to go to the very end of the document and close my paragraph tag. When I do that and I save it, I'm going to come back, and you're going to realize that when I refresh, it doesn't do anything. It looks the same. So let's hop up here into this, and I'm going to create a break here. Again, saving that and refresh, and you'll notice now that the word Pete Good, my name, is now broken off to the top, but it's still the same size as all the other text. Do you remember what our code was to make it the largest kind of a headline? And the word headline should give you a hint there because it starts with the letter H. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this right here. I'm using a code editor, so inside of a code editor like Sublime or Visual Studio Code, you can use Control D to select multiple instances, and you can then change it to an H1, a headline level 1. Again, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to refresh, and voila, there you go. We've got large name at the top. Okay. Let's talk now about making this a link. We discussed this earlier, that there's two kinds of links. There's links to websites and to online stuff, and then there's links that bring up your email browser. And this is going to be a link to a website. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to start a link, and a link is called an anchor tag. Starts with the letter A. And that link has a hot reference, and remember that's href, and it's going to have the https ://www dot, and then the website address, and then we have to end that anchor tag. Okay, so let's save that, refresh, and check it out. That's an anchor. It's now a link. It will actually work, and look at that, it works. Now it works, and it replaced the page I was on, but we still have Good Design is now in the exact same line as all the other text. You know what, for my resume, I don't actually think I need that, so I'm not going to really use it, but I'm going to keep that there. And I need to break that apart from the other text. Remember, we're trying to break it apart, and just because it's a link doesn't break it apart from the other paragraphs. And we need to break it apart as its own paragraph, okay? So what is that paragraph tag again? If you remember, its paragraph starts with the letter P, and we close that out so that it's closed out, and we refresh. Whoops. save that. Let me reload that into there, and now you see it's broken into its own line. Let's go here. We're going to make this the word purpose a level 2 headline. And that level 2 headline, if you remember, this is level 1. So what would level 2 look like? Yep, an H2. And of course we have to close that and save. Now headlines, they will break like a paragraph. So headlines and paragraphs, those are block level elements. They create a block that that creates a break between it and other content. Other paragraph and other tags don't behave like that. Paragraph does, headlines do, and several others do, but not all will break the section. Like the link, it didn't break that into a section. All right, so we found this right here is a paragraph. Again, one of my quick ways to do this is to cut, and again that's Control X, and then I put my paragraph tag in, I close my paragraph tag, then I back up into it and paste the content again, so that let's decrease the text size so you can see it. So I've got my opening paragraph tag, I've got my closing paragraph tag, and the content is here. Okay, so I'm going to save that and refresh. Now that paragraph, nothing special, just puts a break there. All right, you're going to notice there's occasional things that break the text. So this is an actual character that is not displaying correctly here. Let me show you that one right there. I'm not going to worry about what that is. I'm going to go find all of them. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to find, and I'm going to paste. And just so you can see, this is the finding component down here, and I'm going to say find all, and I'm going to delete them, and I'm going to replace them with what's called a prime. They don't look that different, but you know, they do function differently. Again, save, hit refresh, and you'll notice now the word Kroger's has an apostrophe instead of that weird broken text. We'll find a few more of those, I'm sure. And there's ways to make them work, but I'm not going to go through that. All right, so experience. That seems like a pretty big headline. We're going to carve that into a level 2 headline. So H2, and close it out, and then back into it just so you can see what I'm doing. I've got my opening, my closing, save, refresh, and you see experience popped in. All right, so I'm going to go through, I'm going to do some of the rest of this pretty fast, and you can pause and watch through the video as you need to copy and understand some of this. I'm going to, at some points in the talk through, I'm going to talk about certain HTML that I'm using, but I don't want you to get too overloaded. If all you do is headline level, we're going to be good with that. So continue watching. It's going to jump to a fast forward, and we'll go from there.